You know, I think one of my problems is I just get too caught up in my head. Like, I sometimes I'll think about things too much. I'll just go into detail by detail about myself. I'll look into my past and just go by inch by inch. And, if you ask anyone in my life, they'd probably tell you that my memory is quite bad, but if you asked me, I would tell you the honest truth and say it's really not. I just make it seem like that because, I mean, well, life has been hard, I guess you can say. It's it's better to make myself seem ignorant than to make myself seem knowledgeable. Because when you seem knowledgeable, that's when conflict can be arisen. And if you act as if you don't know, then hey, congratulations. You're part of everyone else because no one else remembers. And it's it's weird. It's weird cuz I know myself. I know that I have very attuned memory. I am able to remember very small details that happen in my life. Sometimes it'll be like something will happen. I'll have an interaction with someone and I'll notice like a slight tinge in like their eyebrow movement. I'll notice when their eyes dart around. I won't notice it in the moment, but when I'm thinking about it later on in the day, I'll be like, huh, that did happen. Why did it happen? What's the possible reason for why that happened? Is this something that matters? And I'll just think and think and think and think about it until eventually I just like, you know what, I'll just not think about it. And I'm that's how my memory is. I'm able to remember these things. I'm able to draw up tiny details and make a cohesive storyline as to why that might have happened. But then I it brings a weird thing to myself. And there's a lot I'm able to do. There's a lot I'm able to do. And I know that I have the skills to do things I want to do. I'm very capable. I know how to do what I want. I know how to get what I want, in other words, because if I just put my head to the grindstone, then I'm able to get it. I'm able to do it. I'm able to take the time and atonement for what is needed to get that thing. I'm able to do that. I know that. I've always been able to do it and such and stuff. Like the memory thing. If I wanted to think about something, I'm able to think about it if I think about it and think about it and think about it. And you know, I brought this up in a prior video of how I think I did, unless I made a script about it, but I didn't actually post that script just yet, perhaps. I don't remember. These lines sometimes get crossed, but I so I'll just start from the start, I guess. So if you don't know, congratulations, welcome to the beginning, or something like that. But I used to go to daycare, and I think, or at least to the best of my memory, there was no, not to the best of my memory, to the best of my understanding, because it seemed, or that's at least what my memory remembers. So I guess yeah, it is my memory. But every single day I went in, there was this one kid who called me stupid every single day, and I I don't even. I'd like to say I don't even feel bothered about it, because I mean it's just kid stuff, just kids being kids. I'm not. It's not something that I think about too much. I'm not like, oh, fucking kid, gonna kill him or something. I'm not thinking that. I'm just thinking like, all right, kids being kids, kids will do kids thing, you know? But I, every single time, it doesn't matter how little or how tall it is. Actually, it can be like the smallest minute thing that actually does not matter in the full grand scheme of things. And if I make that mistake, I will bring myself back to that moment, to those moments, to that time, to that phrase of being stupid. My father acting as if I'm unable to do things because, I don't know, I'm a child, I guess. It harms me less than the fact that I go back to the fact of me being dumb. And I'm not. That's the problem. I know I'm not stupid, and yet every single damn time something happens, it brings me back to that moment. And I already see the comments of how I need therapy or something else, and I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea about how that could ever help me because, as far as I'm concerned with I've never been to therapy, want to make that known, so I actually have no idea. I'm going off of a complete bias, want to just say, perhaps I'm right, perhaps I'm wrong, but, just to put that outlier there. But from my understanding, therapy is just about trying to get within, try and figure out why things happen, and it's just a bunch of question asking. And seeing as I've done that myself, and I've done it to quite a great degree, therapy for me does not seem like an option that would ever actually work. Because I just know myself on that front. I just do. But to go back, it's weird. It's weird, because in order to be stupid, I would have to not notice me being stupid. And yet every single time I do something stupid, I still call myself stupid. I still think back to that moment of being called stupid. I still remember that time. It's something that just gnaws away at me, I guess you could say. But I learn from my mistakes. I do. I absolutely do. I should be miles away from thinking about that idea of being dumb. I should be so far away from that because I am leaps and bounds away from being stupid. But yet, every single time I do something, and I mean it, it does not matter how minute it is. It can be it could literally be 10 seconds in my life, and I will think back on it and think back on it and think back on it. I'll think back on it like mere seconds afterwards and be like, why did I do that? Why am I so stupid? What was the purpose of that? And I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to find a resolution on this. Perhaps I will, perhaps I won't. Quote unquote, time heals all wounds, and yet, unsurprisingly, this seems to be a pretty deep one, or something of that sort. I don't know. I wish I could move past thinking I'm stupid, or I wish I could get rid of that memory. I wish I could get rid of it, or maybe not get rid of it, but move past it, because you shouldn't ever try and get rid of memories, because you learn from history, or at least you should. You what's the saying, learn from your mistakes. That's why history exists, where you have to do something, and if something bad happens, or a mistake, quote unquote, then you're supposed to learn from it, and you keep those memories so that you don't do that mistake ever again, supposedly. That's the idea, at least, I would say. So, technically, I wouldn't want to get rid of that memory, but it's not a mistake. Oh, yeah. It's not, I don't know. Would it be better to then get rid of that memory if I could? Because technically it's not a mistake to just be called stupid for the sake of being called stupid every single day. That's just, once again, kids being kids. Not a mistake, it's just kids doing kids thing. Would I get rid of it if I could? Would that be a positive thing to get rid of that memory if I could? Would it be positive to... Yeah, it would be. Sorry, I'm not gonna go down that path, but like, would it be positive to get rid of that memory? And I don't think so, because I mean, it's who I am. As unfortunate as I feel like that is, it's just who I am. It's something that has formed me to be who I am, which I can absolutely say is, to a certain degree, to my detriment. Because, once again, every single time I do something stupid, I go back to that moment. And so what do I do from that? I then learn how to not be stupid, how not to do it. And then through doing that, I become, well, as unfortunate as I don't like saying this, but I become more, would being, although I don't like saying this because I don't know if it's true or not. I've never diagnosed it. I wouldn't, I would like to say I'm not narcissistic, but if I'm being honest, I think that every single time I do something not stupidly, it just brings me to a point of narcissism. Because, I do it right. I always do it right, because if I don't, then I remind myself that I didn't do it right. I never forget about the fact that I never did it right. I just continue to think about how I didn't do it right, and I don't do it again. And then there will be times where I do something incorrect, but I, for some reason, can't upend that incorrectness and make it right. I can't. It's just an inability, perhaps? No, it's not an inability. It's just an unwillingness, I guess, to change. I don't know. So, am I stupid for noticing when I'm stupid? I don't think so. Because I'm at least noticing when I'm stupid, and I would say that it would be dumb to not realize a mistake. But in that same stance, would it be stupid to then not correct that mistake or learn from that mistake? And in which case, there are many mistakes that I make that I don't learn from. I just continue making those mistakes, as unfortunate as that sounds. So then, am I stupid? I would like to think that I'm not, but I don't know. I just don't know. Because there's plenty of people who aren't stupid and yet don't learn from certain mistakes. But at the same time, could then the same argument be put towards them? And they could also just as well be called stupid. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows here, and I hope you realize that, because it is the truth. I don't know. I have no idea as to why I go back to that memory. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why I think the way I think. I don't know why I do the things I do, necessarily. sometimes I do things without knowing why I do it, and then like months later I'll find out that it was apparently the right thing to do. And in which case, this is where the narcissism I think would sprout from. It's just that every single time I do something in the past that then I find out in the future was done correct or was the good thing to do, I'm like, oh, it was my subconscious knowing that this was a good idea. And I mean, technically, could be true, could also not be. I'd never know because it's my subconscious. It does things without me even realizing it. So I could just as well say, wow, my subconscious breathing was really smart. Wow. I could just as well say that. So I wouldn't know if that's being smart, or perhaps that's just me being a dumb narcissist about myself. And I think the problem is one of the other problems is that I've just been proven right too many times by myself. And that's really unfortunate, I have to say. That's quite unfortunate. Like, I don't think I'm a narcissist because I realize when I screw up. I realize when I'm stupid. I make note of it when I'm stupid. I apologize or make amends for me being stupid. But at the same time, I've just been proven way too many times that I'm right on certain things for me to not notice the fact that I could be a narcissist. I could become a narcissist. I might have that in the future cards for myself. And that's not something I want. That's not something I ever want to deal with, as take it from one that's had it before dealt to me. I don't want to. I don't. If I ever have kids, I would rather end myself than be that. Let's just say that, because I tell you, it was not fun. But at the same time, does a narcissist know if they're a narcissist, or do they just act because they've been proven right so many times that they don't think that they're a narcissist because they do things right all the time? I don't know. Once again, hitting another I don't know. You know what? I think this is a good cutting off point for the video. Perhaps you have thoughts. Go down in the comments. Make them. Say whatever is on your mind, I guess. It's an open book in the comments. And while you're down there, possibly hit that subscribe button to become a fellow bread bag, and also hit that like button so that people who may not have seen this video can see this video. Perhaps are going through similar feelings or similar thoughts and may just need someone else voicing their opinions to be heard, and it might be a good thing. And through that, they might also become a fellow bread bag and join the bread box community. And aside from that, I hope to see you in the next video. And until then, have a good one.